Hey guys, it's been a minute. Today I'm going to be drawing on a shirt, well, painting a shirt. I kind of already did the outline and I'm kind of trying to figure out what else I want to do. But I wanted to talk about the idea of slowness. As you may know, I don't post super often on my YouTube channel, and I've been posting more often on like Instagram, TikTok, and stuff like that. And I realized that being fast versus being slow is an interesting concept, especially in today's society. I know some of my favorite YouTubers out there like post content maybe once every month or so, and like there are YouTubers that I follow that post like at least once a week. And thinking about that, and also about like TikTok now, most people try to post multiple times a week or even every single day. Like I'm just thinking about how much of a toll that takes on like your health and stuff like that. Like imagine the work week, for example. They always say that when people work even 8 hours a day, most of their productive time is around 2 to 4 hours. So what happens to the rest of those other 4 hours? It could be chatting, it could be like, I don't know, eating, stuff like that. Just like other things that aren't necessarily sitting down. And for example, I used to be a programmer, or that's just sitting down programming for 8 hours straight. You never did that. You'd be answering emails, you'd be on like meeting calls and stuff like that. So even switching to like trying to pursue art or just do art to see how it goes, it's like, how much time should I actually be spending on art that's healthy for me and will make this like a lasting thing for my mental health and my longevity in this process. Ooh, though I think it's safe to say that in this society, social media expects us to move super fast and get things done so we can show people a lot more content, keep them on the platforms at which we are posting content on, and so they make more money. But at the same time, it kind of kills your creativity. Like right now, I'm feeling really good and in the mood to make a video, but I wasn't really feeling that way a week or two ago. Honestly, I've been kind of busy in that like sort of rat race mindset of I have to post every single day. I have to make sure everything looks nice, especially on my Etsy page. For Etsy, it's like I first started Etsy, I think, a month after I quit my job, around the mid-month. I had like a few listings on Etsy and everyone kept saying, I would like research on YouTube and stuff, how that wasn't enough listings and how I should be doing this. And just like a bunch of like stimuli from other people saying how to get this working and this is the way you gotta do it, and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, can I do it my way? But also kind of listen to the rules at the same time? I don't know. Like, when I started working as a software engineer, I kind of went the traditional path. I went to school for it, I applied to jobs, I got the jobs, and then I had that on my resume. And that's just kind of the way it went, I guess. But this time, I didn't go to art school. I didn't get any connections. I don't have any connections really to any art people. But I'm also not going the traditional art route. Like I'm not posting or trying to get my work in galleries. I'm mostly interested in like maybe selling t-shirts online and maybe even getting into a market here or two, like a few times a year maybe. But I also want to, oops, let me get that pencil. Gotcha. But I also want to like, what was I saying? I don't know, but I also want to like have fun in this process, and I don't want it to get boring, and I don't want it to affect my relationships or my friendships or my own psyche. I don't want to go, I don't know, like I just don't want to give up on this because of how I'm feeling. So I want to make sure it's like flows naturally and stuff. Like I want to spend time with the people I love and go on like little mini trips. Me and Aru recently went on a little hike during the day, and we still are doing our work and our art stuff and everything, but it's nice to go outside. We go on picnics, we just hang out in nature, and you should always make time for that I just didn't make time for when I was working in an office setting, an office space. Alright, what I'm not gonna deny, the elephant in the room, which is money. Money doesn't, you don't get paid for sitting around, you don't get paid for not being fast enough for the hustle and bustle. There has to be like a sort of like in between, and I know there is one, and I don't know how to find it yet, but I think if I can figure out how I can make enough income to sustain myself throughout my life but also have enough time to have fun, I think I'd just be happy even if I wasn't making the same amount of money I used to be making. I guess the point of this video is just for me to remember that this time that I'm taking off work and all these things is just for me to discover myself and to have fun. Like, I've learned a lot of things during this time. I'm converting my tiny little car into like this camper, and let's just say it's kind of tight. Me and Winnie might have to squeeze a little bit to fit, but I'm trying to work with what I have and what I have right now. I think with social media, instant gratification, and this need for abundance and this like luxurious life where you're still missing out on like basic human happiness signals, happiness needs, basic human happiness needs, which are like, is that even a good sentence? Which is just like being in nature and being out in the world and speaking to new people and everything like that. Like, you kind of feel tired at the end of the day when you're working long hours and stuff. Even now, I'm just starting to feel like I'm seeing art the same way as like a huge grind trying to get everything done. And maybe I just need to slow down and figure out what I can do that can give me a more slow-paced life but also sustain me in the long term. So building out the car was something that I've always wanted to do. Or a car. I didn't know it was going to be the car that I had now. I have a pretty small vehicle. But I was like, I could get a bigger car, set myself back a little bit more, but be more comfortable. But at the same time, I could just use the vehicle I have and see what I can make with it. So me and Arul are like measuring out our vehicles, and like I was like fitting in a mat so Winnie could sit on it with some help from my dad. And then I did the window covers and everything, which was like, it was all a fun process. So I'm also learning that I like building things, and like I like doing other things that are not art, that aren't like computer science. Like, there's a lot of like hobbies I've just never gotten into. I also kind of want to get into more storytelling, because when I was a kid I used to do a lot of comics, and I kind of want to do some more comics because I feel like my grammar is really bad and I think it would really help my grammar too. But yeah, I think everybody should have a time in their life where they can just like experience what it is just to live instead of living to work in any form, even if it's your hobby and you say it's like the thing you want to do in life. Think about other things you want to do in life. Oh, I think I have popcorn in my teeth this whole time. Dang it.
Here's the shirt, like painting I said I was working on earlier. This is how it came out. And yeah, it looks really funky. But that's all.